Hey traders, checking out of the stock market today. So the S&P 500 with an incremental all-time high. There's a whole bunch of individual setups I want to look at. And Trump's got a stock. It's bringing volatility. So here's the S&P 500 futures chart. There was our all-time highs. Yeah, we poked just above it, but that's still a double top at this point. The 4-hour uptrend continues to be our guide, and it continues to hold with our higher lows set each morning. EMA 12 continues to hold. And until that pattern breaks, the bulls have absolute complete control. So I didn't do a whole lot of trading today. I'll show you what I did trade here towards the end of the video. But again, it would be the same mindset as how I approached yesterday. I'm not comfortable making long entries up here on most names. Pretty much if you haven't seen daily consolidation and if you've been going up the entirety of the week, I'm not looking to make a long entry. So just patiently waiting for the setup to come to me. And for most names, the setup to come to me is hourly oversold conditions, scouting daily higher lows. Some individual names have that shaping up, which we'll look at in just a second, but the S&P 500 and QQQ themselves do not. So the NASDAQ, upper wick, 4-hour, uptrend got a little choppy yesterday. Look at the move after hours. So this is QQQ's candle for the day, closing at the high, higher low every single day for the last 6 days in a row on this bounce, and only a couple resistance levels to the all-time high. But after hours here, big time drop, and everybody is dropping. Google, they're cutting their fees for whatever. Facebook is reacting to somebody. So you can see I don't really care what's going on, but clearly the tech sector is pulling back after hours. Amazon pulling back. So just something to note. And as we head into tomorrow, that's a little bit of a setback as to where we're going to be starting from after we had closed up at the high. So we're watching the pattern of a higher low every day. When that pattern is lost, we scout hourly oversold and we scout a daily higher low. Financial sector, new all-time high today for the 4th day in a row, 5th day in a row, but a little bit toppy. We're watching for consolidation. It looks a bit like a head and shoulders here with extended hours on. I would look at it like this. You could take extended hours off. It's a bit more clear, but a wonky left shoulder, there's our head. So if we fail 40.31 and break 39.85, the low of today, that would confirm an hourly downtrend, and that would confirm daily consolidation is then underway. XLV, so bull break on the daily, couple days of follow through at this point. Major resistance is 133.29. The hourly uptrend is our guide, and the low of today was just an hourly higher low, keeping the bulls in control. And then a strong close. So 3 days in a row, XLV has been performing for the bulls. QQQ was up more today, but the 2 previous days, XLV was up more than most of our major sectors. IWM trying to break out, but just struggling to get that last push through. Upper wick formed here today. We did break the high of the week, which is a good sign. Hourly uptrend is still intact, but pullback this morning would have us looking for an hourly lower high, anything under 229, and the potential of a tightening range. So whenever you drop back significantly like this, whatever time frame it is, if it's a retracement that's significant enough, the bears are then looking to short the hourly lower high. So have to be keeping a close eye on that on every time frame. Learn that play. It's a play where bulls, you can look to take profit as a bull, or where the bears look to enter a top fishing short. And then of course they hope for the pullback and a drop from there. SMH bullish engulfing candle. So keeping its bounce going, very strong day. And looking up at the most important level from here for me is 273.91. Hourly uptrend is our guide, and anything above the low of today is an hourly higher low. So big day for SMH. NVDA, big day as we head back to all-time highs. We never lost the weekly uptrend on NVDA, and that all-time high is now being tested. And AMD has been standing out strong recently. Higher low every day on AMD for the last 8 days in a row, and it too is testing its all-time high. So semiconductors still strong. And again, this is another name, both NVDA and AMD, hourly oversold, scouting a daily higher low. The next time we consolidate, that's what we're going to be looking for. ARCB, so this is a stock that I'm keeping an eye on because I like the technical setup. Weekly cup and handle, all-time high, big time drop, inability to break the all-time high, bull flag, and now trying to confirm for follow through. Daily time frame, daily trend change for the bulls today. So that is setting our weekly high or low. I've got a position with a break even. I got a position today. Break even is probably 86.50 or so. I will exit if 83.62 were to break, and then the daily higher lows would be lost because that would make a cup and handle a lot less likely. Still possible, but less likely. Earnings are probably going to have to play a factor here because those earnings are in a couple weeks. And unless we can just break out over the next 5 days leading up into earnings. So why am I interested in this name? The setup, but also it's a shipping name. And the shipping sector has been getting a whole bunch of attention. And this is a former Chart Guys member, Craig Fuller. His Twitter handle is @FreightAlley. He is the person that I would trust more than anybody in the world with information about shipping and trucking and that world. So it's worth a follow. He also just bought a plane magazine, so he talks about that a lot. But as far as shipping and Freight Waves, the company he founded, and he comes from a background with his dad a part of the shipping industry, he has pointed out a couple of stocks just to keep an eye on. And so I went through those stocks, and ARCB is the one that stands out to me, technically speaking. So I don't look at any of the fundamentals. I just know, okay, fundamental, and Craig says trucking market's about to go insane, and a lot more freight is about to get dumped into the domestic market. But he highlighted a couple plays, and again, I just go in and I look at the setups that stand out to me. And so we can just look at one of the other plays that had earnings, KNX, and their earnings reaction is going pretty darn well. So Craig is potentially onto something with watching these shipping names. So I am keeping a close eye on the technical setup that I like, and that's my melding of fundamentals and technicals. The reason I'm in this play is the technicals, but there is a fundamental aspect as to why I was even looking at this name. So it is a factor. And give him a follow. Freight Alley on Twitter. Tesla. Bulls bought that earnings reaction in a big way. And we shot right up to test the all-time high, and now we've got a double top at the all-time high, but we're still right there. Daily higher low support is now 855.50. We've got the hourly and a bull flag into the end of the day. And so this 900 all-time high level is certainly in play. The monthly time frame, look at this double bottom. And these are always killer in hindsight. But the bottom fishing play, what's the risk to reward of an entry there? Your risk is $10, $20, $30, and your reward is 400 plus, 300 plus. And Amazon just gave us one of those. We'll see how Amazon plays out. But Amazon's weekly double bottom at 31.75. And if we rip to all-time highs from here, depends on the earnings reaction, but there's going to be a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas. So again, long-term key support levels on long-term monthly uptrends, pay attention to them, which is why I'm interested in NIO and its monthly support. NIO is trying to be a daily bull flag, certainly being helped by Tesla's strength. Daily higher low is 39.16, and the bulls would have to break 40.90 to confirm the daily bull flag. Keeping in mind, we will eventually have to confirm a weekly trend change as well if we're going to have confidence in our monthly equilibrium continuing to tighten up. AMC, wasn't planning on covering it. I was going to say look for a daily lower high. I didn't know how we ended the day, but looks like it's been set. So weekly lower high potentially shaping up. It's continuing to tighten and watching for a break sometime in the coming weeks and expecting a lot of volatility to return to the Reddit names once we do get these breaks. But we'll worry about that in a couple weeks when it gets close to time. So crypto names, Bitcoin started consolidation, daily pullback now underway, and the all-time high wasn't convincing. We only got an all-time high by about 3%, so we just have to be aware of double tops, and Ethereum has an all-time high at its double top now as well. But on this consolidation, we're watching for backburners. So hourly, keeping an eye out for oversold conditions. We got real close today, and if we see red tomorrow, we'll be looking to hourly oversold, and we'll be scouting daily higher lows. You have to be watching Bitcoin if you're trading these names because there's very significant correlation between their price action and what Bitcoin is doing. So MARA, we're scouting a daily higher low. HUT, I don't like that setup as much. I'm sticking to MARA and coin. With the current week that we've had with volatility here, it's important to narrow in focus, or you can just be jumping all over the place and get lost really quickly. And so for me, that's why I just narrow it down. I look at 1 or 2 crypto names. I'm looking at 1 uranium name. And that allows me to jump on opportunities like DWAC here, which we'll look at in just a moment. But it also has me not falling asleep on these other plays because we will set daily higher lows in these miners. It's just a question of where. So MARA already had some hourly oversold bounce. We got right above 30 and went from 49.40 up to 51.14. Not a huge move, but a 3% plus bounce. So again, if we see a lower low tomorrow, and if we see hourly oversold conditions, tomorrow I will be watching Bitcoin on one screen. And if there's an oversold bounce setting up on Bitcoin, I'll be watching to potentially trade it through the miners as well. CCJ. So CCJ daily consolidation underway, scouting hourly oversold conditions. We're getting close. So if 25.81 breaks, we'll head to hourly oversold and we're scouting a daily higher low compared to 24.68. So again, if these bull moves that we've seen are going to continue in these hype sectors, then we have to keep setting daily higher lows. So as soon as daily consolidation starts, we scout for those higher lows. So keeping an eye on CCJ, which was an inside bar today. Cannabis space had a little bit of bull follow through today, but then closed very weak. And so I've just been day trading these names now and taking a little bit of profit. I swung ACB. I sold ACB just under 780 when we initially rejected from it, and we did break back above it, but bulls lost their short-term momentum. So at this point, we can be scouting for hourly lower highs to be the result of the next bounces. So TLRY, let's say we open tomorrow, bears can scout this double top for a top fish, anything under 12.17, and then hope that we confirm an hourly downtrend into daily consolidation. Keep in mind when you're coming from a monthly, weekly, daily downtrend, it takes a long time to shift momentum. You got to change the daily trend. Once you change the daily trend, you zoom out and scout for a weekly lower high. Then you got to change the weekly trend. Then you got to zoom out and scout for a monthly lower high. Then you got to change the monthly trend. So again, it's a very slow process to go from full bear control of time frames to bull. And we have to change the daily trend as step number 1. And to change the daily trend, we know daily consolidation will be inevitable. So that's what bears are going to be watching for hourly top fishing plays tomorrow. So I wasn't trading much today. Did a little bit of ACB trading first thing this morning, but then left for a few hours midday. And then I came back and saw that the hype play was DWAC. And Trump's social media company, blah, 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 don't care. Don't care about your opinions. The people that have political opinions are going to allow them to impact their trading and the decisions with their money on this ticker are the ones that are going to be losing their money. So right now, there are people that are running it up massively as it has a low float and it's a hype name. And then those same people are going to make a killing when they short it. This all plays out the same way. It's going to run up. I don't know how often or how long it'll run up. We'll climax top eventually. It's setting up for a gap up open tomorrow. The bulls are attempting here after hours. So it'll run, it'll hit a top, and then we'll pull back 30, 40%. We'll find a higher low, and then we'll trade in an equilibrium. And I am 85% sure that that's the way it's going to play out. So again, I can't say specific levels at where these are going to play out, but I know what to be looking for. So I know to be looking for a climax top to then indicate a significant pullback. And then after that significant pullback, I know to be watching for shorter term trend changes to set daily higher lows. So it's just massive opportunity. And shout out to Mr. F and some others in our chat room that were on this pre-market at $10, $10, $11, $12. And then it ran 500% on the day, 400%. But how did I trade this? So at a certain point, you can't go long unless you're really experienced and just using a short-term guide, a short-term EMA or short-term higher lows, and just buying these little higher lows and taking advantage of the strength. But it was just an absolute runaway bull, and I didn't make any trades on this name until up here, and I still had a really good day with it. So how? Because I needed levels to play off of. So I was watching this on the 15-second time frame today, and a lot of other time frames, but I was zoomed in even to the 15-second. So we dropped down. We hit this base, and I'm looking for a 15-minute higher low on this consolidation. And I'm watching the EMA 12 as a potential target, but then I see that the bulls are establishing a support level. So, okay, what am I looking for? Remember the short squeeze that I entered on TLRY. I needed that 1 minute support, and as soon as I had that, I can make an attempt. I make my entry, my risk is clearly defined, my reward is higher than my risk, possible reward. So we hit 40.24 and we chop around and get real tight. I say, okay, well, I haven't made any attempts today. I'm going to make an entry right now and put a stop under 40. And I'll be risking, at that point in time, I think I got to fill at 42. So I would be risking $2 to the downside. And there was a big wall at 42 resistance after I got that fill. We came down, we held the $40 support. I missed stopping out by 2 pennies. And then we burst through the wall at 42. I sold half. Where did I sell half? 48. So I waited. I wanted a 15-minute bull flag, a new all-time high, and continuation, because we did halt a couple times and it had a bunch of strength, but didn't get it. And then once we started pulling back, Dinzy in the chat room said maybe a 15-minute lower high, and that had me saying, well, I can sell and rebuy lower. So I sold 42 to 48, and then I bought on this drop. Why? Because I'm playing off 40 again. Just give me the same thing. I did a limit buy with a limit at $44, and I just had good timing where I watched the flush, and by the time I pressed OK buy, I got filled at 42.58. Just missed the bottom there. And again, now I'm risking $2.50 with a bit of slippage if $40 were to stop out. But I just locked in a $6 win, and now I'm risking less than half of that win. Back in the same size position. Okay, chop around, bulls go up. And didn't stop out. Almost grabbed more into the end of the day because I was anticipating a gap up open. And I did not. And now I just made a mistake here after hours because I let my gap up position go to record this video. I saw it chopping around here. Should have recognized the equilibrium and given it a chance to break. But I exited higher than the close, but I essentially said, okay, I'm sick of watching this. I want to get off the computer. I want to make this market video that I've been putting off for the last hour, and I'll start with a fresh, clean slate tomorrow. And of course, right after I sold, we got the bull break, and now this is the move that I was looking for within the first half hour of after hours. So this is just a lesson in patience for me, and it's a 2-day maker right now above where I sold after hours. So that's the way it goes. Could have sat at the computer for an extra few hours and been extra sure, but I don't want to. And I'm okay with that. Missed profit, but there was other life things to do. So we're going to gap up tomorrow, it looks like, very likely. And then on a gap up, bulls will be watching for back burners. First, 5-minute oversold conditions. Then once the top is hit, the top, we'll look for first hourly oversold conditions. Do not trade this name unless you're experienced because it is very volatile, but there's tons of volume. And you're going to see names now. You're going to see people, again, that are putting money based on their political agendas. Oh, I don't like Trump. I'm going to short it. I love Trump. I'm going to go long and hold it forever. Play the price levels. That's what this is for. This is for making money and clicking buttons, and that's what you should treat it as. So, congrats to the bulls. Gap up open very likely at this point. And we'll watch for a 5-minute oversold backburner. All right, a couple individual names to be keeping an eye on. Broader market, watching for daily consolidation, watching for daily higher lows once we do get that consolidation. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Tune in live tomorrow morning, Lori's live stream, 8:30 a.m., giving away Crypto Trader Pro Alerts annual subscription. If you trade cryptocurrency, that's definitely handy to have. Do good things, and we'll see you soon.